Hello, hello, everyone,
Hello, hello.
and welcome. We're very excited tonight to have Bobbi Rae Osika in the house. So we're so excited that you're joining us, Bobbi, and that you're here tonight to talk a little about your life and about working online. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
You bet. Thanks, guys, for having me, too. So I am Bobbi Rae, and I'm from Southern Alberta. I'm a mom of 4 grown children now, and I have just about 4 grandbabies. I still say I have 4, but he'll be here very soon. So I got grandbabies, and I'm an optician by trade. I work in a very big box store, a very busy store as an optician. So it's a little bit crazy. I haven't always done that. I've done a few other things. I work for a mortgage broker, and I was actually at one point was going to become a mortgage broker too, but I decided not to take that path. A few other things that I've done, you know, I started the child psychology course. I got a lot of things under my belt, and this is kind of the one that it stood out to me, and it stuck with me when I was finally presented with it. So this is where I've been now for 5 years, I think, with the optician part of me.
Wonderful.
That's amazing. We want to welcome anybody to drop their name and where they're from in the comment section, and so we can say hello. But so when you started looking, let's talk about your reasons first. I mean, everybody has their own reasons for wanting extra streams of income, and when most people try to make another stream of income, they usually just try and find another job, right? Instead of working 40 hours a week, they're looking at working 60 or 70 hours a week. Why did you look to the online world for an extra stream of income?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it was probably a little bit different than a lot of people. Of course, my main thing was money, right? It was. Anyone that says, you aren't starting to look for something for money is probably not completely telling the truth, right? That's what I needed. I was trying to figure out what was going to make life a little bit easier for me. I was working full time. At the time that I started this, I was just finishing my optical course. So I was in my last term of that, and that was all online. So I'd work my 8-hour shift. I'd come home and I'd study for 2 or 3 hours, and then I would learn this business, right? So it was really busy. But in my head, when I started, I had been looking, I had been thinking for quite a while, what am I going to do? Do I want to go get a second job? No, because I don't want to leave home. I had kids at home still at that point. I don't want to go away from my home. I don't want to be tired. I don't want to come home and change and, get into another routine, have somebody else tell me, this is when you have to work, have somebody else tell me, this is what I'm going to pay you. It wasn't what I wanted. So when I came across this one, it was kind of scary to me because it almost sounded too good to be true, to be honest with you. It just kind of fell in my lap, and I was like, there's got to be something wrong here. I don't know if is it just meant to be, or what was it? So I did look at it, and I did take a little while to look at it because I was a little bit skeptical. But when I finally registered and I finally got going on things, man, my life got easier. It was crazy, right? It's like, how when things are just meant to be, it's smooth, and it's just been pretty smooth. I mean, there's hiccups, but it's been pretty smooth for me.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been working online, Bobbi?
Just about 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, I'm just shy of 3 years now. So,
it's kind of cute because I hear people talking about many people we get to work with. They actually say they're making money in their pajamas from the comfort of the couch, right? Because literally they fit their new business into their lifestyle, and busy people get things done. Yeah. And it's really interesting how this has been able to fit into so many lives just naturally, right? A couple hours here, a couple hours there, and it's your own business, so you get to run it the way you want, and you've chosen a way to fit it into your lifestyle, including all of the grandchildren, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah.
So, what was it about this particular business that really caught your attention, and what is it that you really liked about this particular online business, Bobbi?
When I first started, and like when you first join up, you get invited into the exclusive group, right? And into the community. And that right there, I was like, wow, these guys this is pretty amazing, right? It's so positive. It's so, there's inspiration, the integrity in there. Like people are just amazing in there. You could post a comment in there, you know, and just say, hey, everybody, I hope you all have a good day. And you're going to get so many people wishing you a good day. It's amazing, right? So right away, the people, I was like, this is going to be good. This is something that it just warmed my heart, right? So then I, you know, kind of going through some of the training as I started getting into it, and I'm like, this isn't that hard. In my head, I had built up that I couldn't do this though in the beginning, because I was like, I've never worked online.
Mhm.
I've gone to school online, but I've never done anything else. I don't know a lot about a computer really, and I still sometimes struggle. But the training was so good, and it was so well put together, and it is so well put together that I had no problems. And when I did have a problem, you've got a mentor, you've got people like you guys. You always say that we can reach out to you. Everybody is welcoming everybody to open up and to say, hey, if you need help, just ask. And it just makes it so easy for people to do, I think, right? Which makes you want to do more. It's not a struggle to start at night. It's not a struggle to start in the morning. It was just something that I looked forward to doing it once I got started, right?
Yeah, you know, and I hear you. That for me too, that was a thing for us, like, because we had no experience working online, where we weren't that technical. But you're right, the training was just step by step. The other thing was the fact that all the technology was taken care of. Like they handed us a done for us personalized system that we could just plug into. And that was so amazing for us, because that was the part that, you know, we didn't know exactly how to do, was the technical part. So we had that, and we had the training and the supportive community, like you said. And so it all just kind of came together, and you know, we have constant support and masterminds. And so it's really, you're not alone in this business, right? There's somebody there always to give you a hand. And that's what's so amazing.
Yeah.
You know, we're coming live on Facebook here, across the world actually, and I see that they'll say hi to Johnny from Western Australia.
Perth, yeah.
From Perth.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah. You know, we're on Facebook, and you know, 4 years ago when we first started, I don't even think I know I didn't even have a Facebook profile. And there's thousands of people in our community, and many of them didn't even have a Facebook profile when they started their business as well. So, you know, we always joke about Facebook seems to be the simplest social media platform that almost anybody can use, yet we didn't even have the skills or desire to set one up. So, you know, we're grandparents as well. We barely have 2 high school educations between us. Lots of education in the School of Hard Knocks, though, growing up, because we knew a long time ago as well, we had to find some way to buy our time back, because our boss controlled all of our time. And there was an amount of money that he was paying for our time. And we decided that was our goal, to buy our time back, so we could have the freedom to go for lunch on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or go camping with the grandchildren, or whatever the case may be, right? Yeah. So we knew that was our goal, was to buy our time back. And we were very lucky that a couple of years ago now, we were able to fire our bosses.
Well, 3 years ago, yeah.
Fire the bosses and say goodbye, and we successfully bought our jobs back, or bought our time back, and don't have to do a job anymore. So there's so many people that we work with that have those goals and aspirations, and so many of them have actually achieved those goals. We know you're well on your way there, Bobbi Rae, and we're excited for you. Yeah. And so
now, I was going to ask you, so you've been doing this 3 years, and you said it was what you were looking for. It kind of fit into your life. So did it provide that income that you were looking for in addition to your job? Has it made life easier financially for you?
Absolutely. I think I took the slow road in the beginning, learning, just because I really wanted to know what I was doing. So that's probably one of my biggest regrets, is not pushing myself a little bit harder so that I could maybe know a little bit more quicker. But looking back now, I'm actually really happy that I did it that way also, because now I can I can mentor my team and I don't have to question, do I know the answer for that or whatever, right? So financially, it was a little bit slower for me because of that slow pace that I took. But you know what? I was able to take a year off of work.
Yeah.
And I was fine. I was totally fine. So, you know, was it everything that I needed? It was sure dang close to it, just because I didn't have to worry, right? And my kids watch me, and they always say to me, "What are you doing, Mom?" And I'm like, "Just gonna go work on my business a little bit more." And they respect it, and they're completely okay with it. They're all, you know, and all my kids are in university and college now too. So I mean, I help them a little bit with some of their finances too. But I always tell them, when you guys are ready, or if you want a little bit extra, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I don't push it on them. My partner, we don't live together, but I've been with the same man now for quite a few years. And he is so supportive of me as well. That year that I took off was just a little bit of a eye opener to him that, hey, you know what? I think we're going to have a really good retirement. And I say sooner than later too. Because I'm not waiting at my job where I'm at. The scale that they have when I log in, it tells me that I'll be 67 when I can retire according to their numbers. Yeah. But I'm not going to be 67.
That's scary, isn't it? That's scary. You know, people, come back to what you talked about before. When you first started, you were skeptical. You're a little bit skeptical, right? And then yet people, when they go to work and they see that number, oh, just work for us for another 30 years and then you can retire. I don't understand why people aren't skeptical about that number, and don't take action on that instead of being proactive and doing things for future generations. Like with your business, you have the ability, if you so choose, to will this business. It's a physical asset to your kids, and it can carry on for generations and generations. Absolutely amazing. And I guarantee you will not have that opportunity to will much of anything from your pension.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Well, and you know, I'm glad you said that it took a little time, because this is a real business. This is not a flash in the pan, get rich quick scheme we're talking about here. We're talking about a real serious online business that you can build over the next 2, 3, 5 years into something, like you said, that can take you into retirement. And what's beautiful about that is that when you're working in the online space, the cash flow is constant. It never stops. We go on vacation. We spend a half an hour a day on the computer on our business, and our business is making us money 24/7 online worldwide while we're sleeping or playing or doing whatever. And you know, the whole movement is online. That's where the world is going. So you know, to find some kind of an online business, because we wanted cash flow in retirement. We knew we could never put enough away to draw down on it to have it last us through our lifetime in our retirement. We need a cash flow.
Yeah. There's two Buffetts. Warren Buffett and Jimmy Buffett both knew that if you weren't making money while you sleep, you're going to work till you die. And Jimmy Buffett's a singer, obviously, for some people who don't know that reference. But both men knew exactly, right? If you make money while you sleep, you won't have to work till you die, or for another 30 some years, right? Yeah. So on that note of skepticism, what's the number one question, maybe a couple questions, that people ask you when they reach out to you and say, Bobbi, what are you doing? What's this all about?
Yeah, I get a lot of people, you know, and a lot of people that are just friends with me on Facebook. I don't ever approach people. That's not what we do, right? We can share it with them if we want, but we don't approach people. And I get a lot of people on my friends list, and some of them are my family, and they've said, you know, what are you doing? And I'm like, why don't you just go check it out? Well, I don't want to. And I'm like, well, why don't you want to? Or, you know, probably the same reason I was nervous to do it in the beginning. We're scared of the unknown, right? So if you're looking for something and if you're curious, you can check it out. There's no reason not to, because the only thing that you can do is say, no, thank you, or yes. Right? You got two options. And that's what I tell people. They say, what are you doing? And I'm like, just come check it out. I say, I work online. I own my own business. And then I just say, come check it out, because I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to preach to them. Right. So.
Well, and that's what's so beautiful about this, and why everybody can do it, because it is automated. We have a system in place so that we don't have to spend our time trying to explain a business to someone. We just have a very simple webinar. And if your life isn't worth 60 to 90 minutes to get all the information, then it's probably not for you, right?
Right.
So that's the beauty of it, is that that's why anybody can do it. If you just follow our done for you system and work within the system we have, it just flows and it's easy to do. So that's what makes it so great. And we do the same thing. We don't try and explain it, because how do you explain to people what this is all about? But the good news is it doesn't cost them anything to take a little time and watch a webinar.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Right. It's a free workshop. And that's what I tell them. There's no obligation after. I'm content either way. You do or you don't want to look into it. And that's totally fine with me. So the world is out there, and I'm willing to help anybody. So
it's funny you say that, because we have family members who ask us the same questions, and they still don't know what we do after 4 years. And not that we're trying to be secretive, but we say, well, that's fine that you're curious, but I can't possibly explain a full business model while we're having a cup of tea. It just is not possible. There's so much to know about it. There's so much about the business that it's impossible to explain in a 10-minute conversation. So we do like you do. We direct people to a website and say, if you want to learn more about what we do, it doesn't cost you anything. It's okay to be skeptical. I always tell people that it's okay to be skeptical, but don't be skeptical out of ignorance. Like if you want to say yes or no, that I totally encourage that, right? But don't be skeptical out of ignorance. Don't say no to something you know nothing about.
Get the information.
Get the information, right? And somewhere around this video, on that note, you'll find a link to either reach out to Bobbi Rae or us or wherever you're watching this, and make sure you ask her your questions, because you don't want to say no to something you know nothing about.
Yeah.
Right? It's bad enough we in the workforce, we say yes to jobs that we know nothing about.
That's true.
Right? So it's bad enough there. Yeah, I'll take that job. It pays me.
I was thinking about this earlier, guys. Sorry for interrupting there. And again, I was just thinking about this earlier. Some people always say to me, but you have a good job. I do. I have a great job. And for the most part, I think my job is fairly secure. Am I 100% sure? I don't know. I would like to think, of course, that it is very secure. And I get paid very, very well for what I actually do. But I still, if I go ask my boss for a raise, they're going to be like, you haven't worked enough hours. You haven't put in enough time, or you didn't make enough sales, or, whatever it happens to be. If I say, can I have a day off for whatever, like, for example, my kid's graduation, that one, actually, I asked for, and they told me no. And I said, so my job is going to control that I can't go to my son's graduation. Well, then I was like, well, do I want this type of a job, or do I want something different? Right. So I did end up getting to go, but it was just, that's what got me thinking a lot in the beginning too, was I can't control my wage with these people that I work for, with my bosses. I can control my wage by the amount of work I put into my business though. And if I want to make a lot of money, I have to put a lot of work in, and a fair bit of work in, right? But you put the time in. So you reward yourself.
And the people that really matter in your life, when they know you're busy all the time with a job, they don't even bother to reach out to engage with you sometimes. Like for us, as an example, we're blessed. This is our work. We don't work very hard, very often, very long, right? And we're blessed. But our family knows if they need to call us, have us come over and babysit grandchildren, or go on a social event as a family when it's not so busy where everybody else is out, we can do that.
Yeah.
And almost at a drop of a hat, right? So that's what I said earlier about we bought our time back, and we're so grateful for that, because that's the one thing you can't get back.
That's right. When you spend that, it's gone. Money comes and goes, but time is gone. Your son's graduation happened once, and it's not like that's going to happen again, that you can go to that, and that's when we were at work too. We thought our jobs were secure. We thought we mattered. And what we found out was that when we left, man, our seats weren't cooled off and they had somebody else in them. Yeah. You're just a number. And you know what? You're only as good as how much you can give your boss and do for your boss, and they control your life. And that was something we were not prepared to do till we were 75 or 80, which is how long we would have had to do it, because we just couldn't get enough money put away for retirement.
Yeah. I totally understand that. I'm just a number too.
Yeah, and well, and almost everybody watching this is a number, unfortunately, as well, right? If they weren't a number, they wouldn't be watching.
Right.
And something inside of them is kind of, urge them to follow your page or follow us, and they're wondering because maybe this could be the ticket that helps put them over the top. Now, so you mentioned earlier that. So how many hours do you typically put in a week on your business right now?
I would say probably so the 5 days that I work, I probably do about an hour and a half to 2 hours after work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those nights, just working on the things catching up on emails, working on what I have to do. Then I have the 2 days off, and my 2 days off, for the one day, I usually do a couple of different group work rooms with some of my team, and I just sit there with them and we just work in silent. And if somebody has a question, we help each other. So I probably put about 4 or 5 hours in on my days off, and then our masterminds and stuff too. So it's busy, but I love it. I look forward to doing it. It's not really work for me. It's my friendships, and it's my life. It's what I enjoy doing. So,
well, and 10 to 15 hours a week. That's a big cry from some people working 40 to 60 hours a week, right? So, there's and you know why? It's leverage. We get to leverage the power of the internet. We get to build a global business. We get to leverage the fact that it works 24/7, even when we're sleeping, because there's always somebody awake on the other side of the world, which is why we kind of get more bang for our time and our buck, because we've learned about leverage, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Do you ever get asked the question, is this real? Is it legitimate? Like
all the time.
Yeah.
I've been told by friends, I've been told by strangers, I've been told by people through Messenger, are you going to scam me? And I'm like, no, because you know what? I'm not into that. I've been there. I have no reason to need to want to. I'm doing something that I love, and I'm not going to put my face and my name on something that I love, because that's going to reflect on me, right? So it's going to reflect on my kids and my family, because I'm out there. I'm out there for anyone and everyone to see. I'm transparent. This is who I am. So, follow me and watch me, and I'm totally happy. You'll see the same person all the time. So,
yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it. That's why we're here. I mean, we're all very transparent. Our real names, our faces. We wouldn't be putting this out there if we were trying to pull something. And our community is 100,000 strong. I mean, we're talking about serious. We've got millionaires in our community. We've got, people, professionals, and these are people who are building serious businesses around the globe, and we get to learn from them. These are it's real business and real people. And, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
it's a real deal.
It is. And if it wasn't legitimate and it wasn't real, we wouldn't have 100,000 people from around the world. I mean, name a country, we have people working online with our systems from that country.
Yeah.
We have partnered with a particular supplier that has been around for over 40 years, has offices in over 23 different countries, registered with more than 23 countries to legally do business there. Yeah. If we were not legitimate, if this system and our business model wasn't legitimate, think about it. We wouldn't be able to operate in those countries.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do business.
Well, and we wouldn't be here 4 years later, or you 3 years later. You can't run a scam that long.
Yeah. I'd have been out a long time ago.
Yeah, you got 2 weeks and you're out. But no, it's been amazing. And and I think we'll just kind of wrap it up. If we can just kind of finish off on, I know you started off by talking about how you started you kind of took your time, right? And you wanted to, let the business grow on you and learn as you go. And so you could be better prepared to be a good coach and mentor, which you are. You've done a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
For us, there's a lot of people watching this that are going to see this over time that are going to sit there and go, do I click that, or do I just go and watch another TV show? And I'm going to tell you our little experience. We knew about this business system almost one full year before we actually decided that we wanted to buy our time back. And that year probably conservatively cost us
Over the course of the next
if
4,
yeah, probably $500,000.
Yeah.
And you know, man, I am so grateful. Some days when every day when I wake up that I have this business, but some days I'm going, man, it didn't cost me anything. Why didn't I at least take a deeper look at it when I could?
Yeah,
I let my ignorance create my skepticism, and it cost me a lot of money. So, you know, if you're watching this, folks, and you have any questions, please do yourself, do your family, do yourself a favor, reach out, ask a question. That's all it takes. Just start with a question. Somebody on this video will be glad to reach out to you.
Bobbi, what do you want to say to people who are right now watching this, the people you know, people following your page that are thinking, what do I do? What was the one thing you'd like to say to those people?
You know, I think some people maybe are scared to reach out to because they don't know people, right? They don't know us. We're strangers to them for the most part. And I understand that. You know, we're nice people. You can message us, or if you don't want to message me or Shelly or Clyde, then you can just click the button. You can go watch, and you can watch it discreetly. You can make a decision after that once you see more people that are like us and like you on there too. You don't have to be this visual person right now where everybody gets to know who you are. It can be done discreetly until you're ready. And I do tell people that too, because I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm that social. I like to think I am, but sometimes I'm like not. So it's kind of nerve-wracking when you're going into something brand new and you don't know somebody. So just take a chance on yourself, right? You deserve, you know, you deserve the opportunity to just see it, right? I think I was more conditioned to believe that I didn't deserve it, or, you know, maybe that money isn't for me, because that's kind of how I was raised. And man, it's for all of us. We all deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
We all just got to take a chance.
I
I
love that. I think
couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, I love that, because if you feel like you deserve it, then don't wait. Don't wait. You deserve it. And we don't know you and you don't know us, but you know yourself. So if you think you deserve it, take that first step, reach out, do it discreetly, ask your questions, but we're all here to help you. So,
well, with that, we'll end this interview. Bobbi, thank you so much for being here with us. And let's do it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, this has been wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care of yourself and your family, and stay warm and windy, Lethbridge.
Thanks. You guys have a good night, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.